Oh yeah, bringing that sweet Pano music. What's up, everybody? Hi, my name is James. This is James Loves Games. I did hit play, right? I am live, right? Please respond that I am live. I don't need two of those mishaps in a row. Good. Thank you, Clint. What's up, Nelson? What's up, Clint? And Last Olympian. And Sister A, you've been summoned. Yes. Unfortunately, this event doesn't start till 11, but I just thought, you know what? I'm just sitting here. My hair is looking all good over here. Headphone good. Where's the picture? Oh, no. It's right here. So this is what we're waiting for. The Warhammer Preview Las Vegas Open 2024 online. I feel like they could have picked a better name. It's kind of a mouthful there. You know what? I'm gonna go ahead and turn some music on since we're waiting. We might as well listen to some good tunes instead of just my silly voice. Let me find it. How's everybody doing? Happy Thursday.
Flintstones vitamins are the #1 pediatric.
Flintstones vitamins? You don't say. Here we go. What do you guys think about Flintstones vitamins? They're pretty good, huh? Joking. Okay, good. I never know. You should talk about Pal World. What's Pal World? I've seen some of that and it looks fun. Pal World. Oh yeah, the Pokemon ripoff. I remember when they showed this. Yeah, the one that's like, it looks like Pikachu and Totoro had a baby and gave him a minigun. Yeah, it looks pretty weird, but you know, I like weird. Yeah, the sheep with the machine guns is pretty funny, I gotta say. Is it out now? Sister A, I like the vitamins, just not Fruity Pebbles. I think I would prefer Fruity Pebbles over the Flintstones vitamins. I never liked the Flintstones vitamins. They always get stuck in my teeth. I don't know. They were just a little too tart. The vitamin C in there was a little bit too much for my taste. But you're not eating it for the, delicious flavor. So my bones don't turn to dust and my teeth don't fall out. Early access on Game Pass. Oh, that's cool. That's nifty. Nifty galifty. I mean, I might as well, right? Let me go see Pal World. We have time. If America invented Pokemon, get out of here. I'll just find. Oh my gosh. Shiny Pal hunting and gym leader fight. Pal World full gameplay early access part 3. 2,800 people watching this guy. Who is this guy? Noah J.
Shiny one. Oh wait. No, I thought I had a shiny bee guard.
You know what? I don't vouch for anybody else's streams. Let's find a trailer. Just so we're all on the same page. Okay, so this one's from a few months ago.
New Quaker Fruit Fusion with
Quaker Fruit Fusion. I love commercials. They're so good. Not buying your Quaker Oats. They're infested with E. coli. So says the news anyway. Let's swap over to this one. All right, let's check out Pal World. Let's all be pals and look at Pal World. Let me turn this back up. Yeah, it's straight up Pokemon. It looks better than Pokemon, actually. But that's an increasingly low bar these days. It looks like Fortnite mixed with Pokemon, like visually. The like third-person shooting action. I'm honestly shocked that they're just not awash in lawsuits, that this even got made. Is this mainland China only release? Because that would be pretty funny. Prince of Persia on the Switch? Pass. Hard pass on that one, bruh. Let's go back to the sweet beats. So Pal World. Yeah. Looks very interesting. I still want Lethal Company to come to console. Couldn't wait till it. What's up, Justin? You know, I was just sitting here waiting. Like I've been having problems recently with my setup, and so I got here early to, you know, work out all the kinks, and I got them all worked out. So it's like, well, I've got an hour and 15 minutes. Why don't I just start it up? Does it interest me? Kind of. I mean, I don't think I would buy it. And please don't give me money to buy it. If it was like a PS Plus download, I would definitely stream it at least once. What's up, Jonathan? Good to see you. So yeah, we're just waiting for this thing to start in 49 minutes. But I figure instead of just sitting here by my lonesome, we could all chit chat. Eat a banana. Oh, you didn't bring a banana? Just me? That's all right. I finished my Krieg veteran kill team today. I had the last 3 dudes to make. This is how I eat a banana. Am I crazy? So like, this is how I open it. Like I don't peel it. I just like crack it in half like that. And so then like I peel it from the inside there. Am I a total monster? Was a banana in your pocket? It was. Sorry everyone. Sorry to disappoint and ruin your day. This way I don't have to commit ASMR banana crack stream. I think that title definitely needs some context. I think people would click on that. The thumbnail would make or break it, I think. But, you know, this way I can save the other one for later. And if I forget about it for half the day, only this part turns brown. Banana hacks. Justin S. I saw monkeys eat bananas like that, so I used to do it as a kid and decided to act like a monkey buffoon when I did. Well, I'm not acting. I am a monkey buffoon. Oh, sweet potassium. Flow through my veins. I'm just going to go to the big camera because why not? You can see all my nose hairs and the tea that I'm drinking. It's Tico. It's Benner Tico. You guys have all heard of that, right? The cheapest tea at Walmart. that wasn't great value. I think that was Walmart. Walmart or Aldi. Justin, Costco sells these chips. They're crinkle-cut kettle chips made from slices of plantain. Sort of banana, but absolutely wonderful. That sounds pretty good. I could go for some crinkle-cut anything right now, honestly. I brought the banana to give myself some energy and maybe sate my hunger. Usually by 10 o'clock, I'm winding down, ready for bed. But I need more energy. And my body's like, oh, we doing more stuff? Why don't you get something salty and crunchy? It's a dangerous path. It's a company called Barnana, but only get a Costco because they're crazy expensive otherwise. Even a Costco, man. I had a Costco membership for like 1 year, and I did not save any money. I bought way more stuff than I ordinarily would. I was like, oh, that looks good. This all looks good. I will have one of each. And then I did, and I went broke. I've been to IKEA, Sister A. It's funny you mentioned that. We went for the first time this past summer. We took a trip to Dallas. And IKEA was one of the places I wanted to go to because that's the closest IKEA to where I live. It's 4 hours away. It was pretty cool. Like, humongous. We explored what we thought was the whole place. And then we went and got lunch, like a really late lunch at the cafeteria, which was really good. And then it was like, all right, let's go. Oh, wait, what's in this room? And then it was like a whole other floor full of stuff. And it was like, oh, we don't need to see all this. Let's just go. The food was good. I haven't been to a cafeteria in so long. I feel like most adults have not been to a cafeteria since high school or college, maybe. Justin S. I like Costco because of the incredibly unique things they carry. And that they rotate stock. Their nuts are also super cheap, which was great when I was doing keto. Oh, I agree about Costco. Like, they have some stuff. Like, the stuff that they have, too, is really quality. Like, their meats are really good. Their rotisserie chickens are stupid cheap and really good. Sapporo beer, if you're a fan, is just ridiculous cheap there. I mean, I got a case. I don't normally buy cases of beer, but I got a case of Sapporo, and it was like $19. So 24 beers for $19. It's like unheard of. Even like Bud Light or something just ridiculously close to water would be more than $19. But one thing that they have that, like, I've considered getting another membership just to go back and buy this again. They had these little tiramisu cups. It was a 6-pack, and it was a little glass, and it was full of tiramisu, but it's like a quality glass. And it was like, it was not expensive. I mean, it was like $6 or $8 or something. And I was like, I would pay this much just for the glasses, but it has delicious tiramisu inside it too. So, I mean, that was good. Also, I love their food, like their hot dogs and pizza and stuff. The hot dogs are good. I tell you what I love, now that we're talking about Costco, I'm going to convince myself to get a membership again. Now that we're talking about Costco, quick stream check. Okay, we're good. What is it called? Their chicken bake. Oh my gosh, the chicken bake. I had to get one every time I went in. And it was like, I got to get a hot dog and a drink and then a slice of pizza for everybody and then a chicken bake. And I would just be horribly disgusted with myself. If you don't know, it's basically like, it's kind of like a calzone. It's like a little baked bread thing. And inside it's got like grilled chicken and cheese. And there's like crusty cheese on the outside of the bread too. Oh, it was so good. I love those things. eat one of those every day. Justin, as I soured on their furniture, though, I've had a lot of it and it never lasts. Well, that's too bad. Some of it's pretty good, though. I think it probably varies. I don't drink anymore, but Sapporo is my favorite Japanese beer. It's pretty good. Something I found about Japanese beers is they all pretty much taste the same. Like when you drink enough of them, it's kind of like, yeah, it's like they're all lagers, and they're not really, one's not incredibly different from the others. They're all good though. Justin, I actually still have those cups, use them very regularly. So yeah, so do I. They're great little drinking glasses. Good for whiskey or whatever. Got these other ones they did that was like a chocolate mousse in different glasses. Yeah, probably same thing. Sister A, remember Sam's Club? Yeah, we still have Sam's Club here. There's actually one. There's actually two, at least two in Oklahoma City that I know of. So a bit of a drive, but same deal, just different name. Last Olympian, I'm more of a Sam's Club guy. It just kind of depends. I think this is like PlayStation, Xbox discussion. It's like most of the stuff is the same. You're gonna get the same like value, but just like which exclusives do you care more about? My dad is a fiend. He goes to Costco and Sam's Club every other week. I cannot explain why. For whatever reason, keto never sat well with me. See, I liked keto. Yeah. The thing about going to Costco, though, at least the one here in Oklahoma City, the one in Oklahoma City is fairly new. I think it opened up like 3 or 4 years ago. It's always so crowded. And I don't know if it's like this at every Costco, but it's ridiculously crowded every single time. Like, we'll make plans. I mean, when we had a membership, we would make plans. We're going to go to Costco and we would drive to the city specifically to go there, and I drive it was next to a turnpike, and you drive past it, and I would see the parking lot full and be like, you know, maybe we can just not go. It's so horrible. Yeah, the Kirkland exclusives are pretty good. They actually got decent shirts too. Did you get to use those toilets that doubles as a sink in Nihon? Oh yeah, I had one in my apartment. I think every house I've been to has one of those. Usually there's like a well, I guess the bathrooms varied, but those toilets were pretty much standard everywhere I was. Just something I got used to. Justin S, I can imagine there are like 5 or 6 fairly close to me, and they're all pretty packed all the time. Their checkers are crazy efficient though. Tag team it, sometimes even scan you while in line. Yeah, that's one thing about Costco is like there's a lot of people, but they get you out of there. Like the line moves, and there'll be like some dude taking stuff out, and another one scanning it, and then another one bagging it, and it's just boom, boom, boom. All the while your receipt is coming out, and like more and more zeros are appearing on it, and you're just like, your soul is leaving your body at the rate that the ticket is coming out of the machine. It's like, please stop. Wait. Toilet that you used to wash your hands? So, yeah, you know how you flush the toilet and then water comes in and refills the tank for the next flush. Well, what they do in Japan and most toilets is at the top of the tank, there's like a little curved spout and kind of like a little mini sink, just the size of the top of a toilet tank, like this big. And it's just a little sink with a hole that goes straight down. And so, like, after you do your business, the water's already filling in there, so you can just wash your hands with that water, and you're not wasting water, you know, over at the other sink. So that was pretty cool. They also had 2 different flushes. So there was you'd see a handle, and there'd be the kanji for big and the kanji for small. And so if it's just pee, you just do the small one, and it flushes a little bit, you know. But with the big one, it's like a big flush. So I thought it was pretty clever that they could, you know, bifurcate their flushes that way. Yeah, no, you don't go to the bathroom and then you're like, splash, splash. Wash my hands. Japanese food isn't that healthy. About half the toilets in Japan are heated and have bidet functions. I would say, yeah. I think one of my apartments had one of those and the other one did not. Justin dipping his hands in the yellow toilet water. Gotta wash my hands. Ooh, here's a bar of soap. Sushi and rice sound healthy to me. Well, not healthy enough for me to wash my hands in the toilet. Still waiting. Deeper and deeper. Way down. Oh, something's happened. All right. I'll just leave it here. We can see the chat move. You guys can read that chat as well. At least until it gets behind my big face. Justin, my apartment toilets have that dual flush. The small one is unreliable. Almost never even flushes all the pee out, so gotta either use the big one instead or small one twice. Huh. Interesting. Yeah, it worked pretty well. UK, Euro, no, Texas. The complete opposite of those things. Yeah, you know, American toilets are catching up to Japan. You know, I'm seeing more and more with bidet functions and heated seats and all that kind of stuff. So it's good. You know, if you're going to be number one at something, you know, might as well be number one at something everybody uses literally every day. Might as well be number one at number one and number two. So, you know what I'm saying? I think it probably has to do with the shape of the bowl. It's like it's not designed to ever actually empty. Yeah. They always seem to work pretty well for me over there. We actually have a toilet museum over there. I think it's run by Toto. Is it Toto? Am I getting that right? I gotta look it up. I might be completely misremembering this. See, no, it's Toto. They have the Toto Toilet Museum in Kitakyushu. All the way down in Kyushu. That's pretty funny. It's like, well, let's take a trip across the entire country and go to the toilet museum. I mean, I would. But, you know, Toto's in Africa. They bless the rains down there. That's the slogan for the new toilets right there. We are number one for number twos. Yep. I've always said I should have been in toilets. So now we know. We know with certainty. Has anyone tried Tony Chocolonely chocolate? What is that? Jonathan. Tony Chocolonely? I gotta look it up. Hey, it's Tony Chocolonely. Tony's Chocolonely. Interesting. Chocolonely. Interesting. Hey, Seraph, what's up? What's hip and happening? Did I miss it? I didn't think anything was going on tonight. No, we're waiting for this Warhammer preview to start. It starts at 11. And I just started at 10 just to chit-chat till it starts. But that looks like pretty good chocolate, though. I'll swap over to the Chocolonely. It's the Chocolonely. Here we go. Tony's Chocolonely. It looks very retro. I like the packaging. I love these unfair sizes too. This is pretty hilarious. Grams of sugar per piece of milk chocolate. They have it down to the decimal. That's a thick chocolate bar. Honestly, it looks like Warhammer sprues. Like, this is where my mind is now. If I see this chocolate, I'm like, oh, I want to break it up and put it together where it belongs. I'll have to try that if I ever get down under. I don't know where that came from. Anyway, Tony's Chuck-a-lonely. Well, we should visit Tony. He's so Chuck-a-lonely. John, let's see. Oh, wait. Hold on. Given a conversation, I overemphasize the Chuck colony. The Australians like to claim anything that we can as our own. So yes, it's Australia. Nice. You know, I bet I could order some on Amazon or something. Let me see. Tony's Chuck-a-lonely. Let's see what they got. Oh yeah. You can get a Tony's Chuck-a-lonely pack. It's like a variety pack for $10. 6 bars for $10. Oh, those are like miniature ones. I see. I want the real one. This looks like straight out of Willy Wonka, honestly. I see. Oh, that's a little bit much for a chocolate bar. But a chocolate bar from Australia. So you can get a dark milk chocolate bar with pretzel and toffee, Belgian chocolate. Oh my gosh, $5. Maybe for a special occasion. Maybe I'll get some. A variety pack. You get a variety pack, you can get 6 chocolate bars for $30. Yeah, I'm gonna pass on that one. $30. I'm satisfying my chocolate needs for the rest of the year. $30. The rest of my life, rather. Do these weird buttons do anything that anyone else can see? Weird buttons. Jack Moore, what's up? I am doing well. How are you? I'm getting sleepy, so I hope this I hope they deliver something cool. I don't know if you guys give a, toot in the wind about Warhammer news, but I don't know. I'm just in it to be a part of it all, I guess. John, let's see. So they're basically focused on making chocolate that focuses on addressing ethical issues within the chocolate industry. Oh, okay. Aside from that, they're bloody tasty. I mean, if you're putting pretzel in chocolate bars, I'm 100% on board. Justin S. Reese's were always my favorite candy, the Easter eggs specifically, and I've heard the ones filled with potato chips. That sounds amazing. Potato chip Reese's. I got a little bit fatter just saying that phrase, potato chip Reese's. Like, I felt my stomach go and get a little bigger. Jack Moore, doing good, parked for the night up near Chicago. Oh, geez, I bet it's just really, really cold up there. Because it's really, really cold down here. And you're way more up there than I am. It's 28. It actually felt warm today. It's 28. It's barely freezing. Kind of lovely. Jonathan C., I've got the variety pack here right now. It's great. The chocolate containing sea salt is amazing. That is one of the greatest discoveries, I think, of the 20th century was putting sea salt on chocolate. That's good stuff. I'm gonna move my camera a little bit so it's not so. I want to lean back a little bit. Here we are. 15 degrees with light snow. That's not a fun. It's not a fun drive, I would imagine. Tale as old as time. Pay 10 times as much because we're super ethical. Well, it's also in Australia, so I would imagine having 6 chocolate bars shipped from another continent would be costly. Justin, we made it back up into the 40s. Thank God. 44 right now. Oh, it's coming for us. I can't wait. Most of the snow outside my house actually melted. Oh yeah. Yeah, it got up to 49 today, I guess. I didn't even notice. I missed it. And then it's Saturday. It's going to go back down to 9. You can keep that. Justin, you ever drink Japanese tea, James? I've been getting real into high-quality loose-leaf teas this past year, and Japanese teas are my favorite by a mile. Oh, yeah. I drink all kinds of tea. I had some black tea. It wasn't Japanese, but I like tea. No, Sarah, to your point, I mean, go to Sprouts, and they got all kinds of ethical, expensive food. But, you know, I suppose you got to pay adults more to make bread than small children. Small slave children. You don't have to pay much. Jack, well, when you've seen actual temps at minus 40 degrees, 15 ain't bad. Oh, it's nice. Minus 40. Ugh. Goes up to 30s. Finally, on Monday, I'm so done with zeros. James, do you still have a P.O. box, or is there another way for us to send you things? I do not have a P.O. box anymore. I think I got like... It wasn't worth the cost. I'll just say that. P.O. box for minis. Chocolate sprues and plastic sprues. This rural bumpkin went to his first Whole Foods the other day. Noped right out of there. Yeah. One of my good friends calls that whole paycheck because that's what you spend whenever you go shopping there. It's pretty rough. You think Costco's bad. Whew. Getting some mango lassi and truffle oil. Of course. Of course. Whole Foods is pretty silly. I mean, some of the stuff's good, but it's like, I'm paying twice as much for everything. For no reason. Need some munchies. Man. I'm hungry now. I'm a hungry boy. I'm like looking around on the floor as if a big pile of snacks is going to manifest itself and time is going to turn back to a time during the day when it would be more appropriate for me to eat snacks. You know that grocery store out in California where everything is literally priced by a psychopath? What? No. So a Californian? Is that what she's saying? What is this? Star Road? Oh, from Super Mario World. Super Mario World's a classic, man. It's probably my favorite platformer. I'm not sure. I need to start streaming Super Mario Wonder once I get through Tears of the Kingdom. Erewhon? Can get a ready-to-cook pizza for like $80. Oh, or a salad for $64. Oh! Erewhon? Sounds like a dumb idea. I mean, I could literally make a salad out of money that would cost less than $64. I could get $5 bills and in a bowl and cover it in ranch, and it'd still be cheaper than that. Erewhon? Okay, I'm officially curious. What is this? Erewhon? Is it because Erewhon wants to shop there? Like, people also ask, what's so special about Erewhon? The Kushis opened Erewhon as a market that specialized in sourcing organic foods and the key components of macrobiotic diet, high fiber and the complex carbohydrates and grains and vegetables, which is known to be far better for the body than the standard American diet. Hey! So high fiber and complex carbohydrates and grains and vegetables? Just eat grains and vegetables. Why do you guys spend so much money on them? I like how you go to their website and it's literally just like a picture of vegetables. Like, yeah, that's so healthy. I gotta see how much a dozen eggs is here. I mean, it's California, so they do have a dozen for $7. That's highway robbery, but they also have some for 15. Oh, that's 18 eggs, though. Man. Erewhon. They're trying to make their grocery store sound like some kind of mythical realm where the elves live or something. I must away to the shores of Erewhon, whence my people came, to buy frozen pizzas and salads. I heard about it on Good Mythical Morning, and they said all the food was pretty meh. Sounds about right. Because Erewhon can't afford it. That's right. Erewhon thinks it's a dumb idea. Love Good Mythical Morning waxes and wanes, though. Haven't been watching recently, but I've been watching since the original studio. So it's fruit and veg with less chemicals, but a higher price. But I like the chemicals. That's what give them their flavor. No, I mean, it's not hard to eat healthy. You don't have to... you don't have to buy some kind of magical vegetables from the elven realm to have a healthy lifestyle. They sell carrots at Walmart, you know. Something that I've found that helps with the chemicals is washing them. Our vegetables are grown free of dirt, so you don't have to bother with all of that nonsense. Those glowing purple sprouts, yeah. Sheesh. It's like, if you want people to be more healthy, like, just try to convince them to not eat fast food so much. Like, quit going to McDonald's like 4 times a week. You will be healthier. You don't need magical vegetables. I've never really watched Good Mythical Morning. I've seen clips and stuff from them, I guess, but I don't know. I think it's just YouTuber envy. I'm bitter at their success. No, not really. I don't know. I have limited amount of attention to give. Better be something like groundbreaking and super cool in this. Let's see. What was I gonna do? Oh yeah. I like this rendition. This is good. Oh. Yeah. This is the best song in all of video games, I declare. I decree the kingdom of zeal, the illest of them all. What are you guys doing this weekend? I am going hobby shopping again and going to be trying to put together some terrain for a Warhammer map. We'll see how it goes. Serapho Storms, good mythical morning is my dopamine reward after studying the Bible, doing my duty with Duolingo, and reading Luther's small catechism. Then I get to shut my brain off for a minute. What are you studying on Duolingo? Justin S. James, if the GMM episode called The Safest Way to Walk doesn't have you clutching your sides in agony from laughter, then it may not be up your alley. The Safest Way to Walk. I will try to remember that. I will write it down. The safest way to walk. How long are those episodes typically? Is it like a 30-minute deal or an hour or what? You never know with YouTube. Thirsty. Hobby shopping, eh? Nice. I'm going to get Popeyes and watch Oppenheimer. Ooh. I want to hang out with you. That sounds awesome. Is Oppenheimer out on Blu-ray? I haven't seen it yet. Justin, it's an older one, but it's pretty short and still my absolute favorite. This one is maybe 10-15. Nowadays, it's more 25-ish. Okay. It's not bad. Sarah, if I'm brushing up on my Spanish to start. Nice. Nice. I've gone through phases where I'll want to study new languages, and so I'll hop on Duolingo for a couple of weeks and chip away, but if I don't have any real reason to learn the language, I will give up pretty quickly. It's one thing to say like, oh, you know, it would be nice if I spoke, you know, Spanish or Finnish or Dutch or whatever, but it's like, I'm not using it. Even if I can speak it fluently, I wouldn't be using it in my current situation, so. Nelson, the Prado Gallery in Spain has started moving all references to dwarves in the titles of famous works of art. And they really think little of the artists. Oh. Nice. I got a day of Remnant 2 with my buddy on Saturday, then family time with the parents on Sunday. Nice. Very cool. I think I'm going to try to cook some burgers this weekend too, because it's been a while. It's been a while since I made a homemade burger. Ooh. You know what I might do? I cut my finger, by the way. You know what I might do is make some onion burgers. An Oklahoma specialty, or so I'm told. Basically just like shred a whole bunch of onions really fine. And just, it's like a smash burger with tons of onions on one side. It's like burnt. Really good. And I'll have horrible burps for the rest of the day, for the rest of the weekend after eating such a thing. Because onions hate me, but I love them. Justin, it's fantastic and awesome, but I highly recommend playing with a friend. It can be real tough early game solo, but can definitely be done. All right. Where we at? We got 12 minutes. Let me read the Blood Angels. Oh, the chat's really moving now. Rock and Stone. I don't need that. Yeah. Oh. Space Pirate Skaven for 40k. Oh, that would be sick. I ain't even playing. Blood for the Blood God. I would like anything Tau. Any new Tau stuff. But honestly, something for Drukari, maybe the Dark Elves, the evil like torturer, pirate, Viking elves that live in space. They're pretty cool too. I've been like looking at Drukari figures online, and they're pretty sick. I like that too. You know, pretty much everybody in this game in 40K in the universe is just awful. Like they're all so evil, but the Drukari just take it to the total extreme, and they're just like, wow, we just do what we want. We just fly around and torture people and then go back home with our spoils. It's like, I respect it. I respect it. Do I have my Deathcore kill team with me? No, I do not, unfortunately. I left those at home. I was working on those at home before I came over here, and I suppose I should have. That's something I could have done and talked about. I wasn't expecting to start the stream so early, so there's that. Drukari always looked the best to me, but I never pulled the trigger because they're always terrible on the table. I don't even really care though, because there's like 2 people I know in real life that play this game, and they're all gonna sit on my shelf for 11 months out of the year anyway. So might as well pick one that looks really cool. That's what it's all about. The rule of cool. So you think they're going to start at 11? You know what? I'm going to do something unorthodox for my streams. I'm going to kick up my feet. I have a will and a way. You know, I'm just going to take my 2 turntables and a microphone. What's up? Hey, this is kind of nice. I don't hate it. Justin, you got to get a Riptide, and of course, eventually Supremacy Walker, the monster one from Forge World. Oh yeah. Mia. Move over this way. Yes, accommodate my laziness. Riptides and Imperial Knights both make great decor display pieces. Yeah, they do. They're pretty cool. I dig them. I dig them a lot. I always neglect to do the handheld mic. I should do this more. Unless you guys hear it crackling as I move the thing, which would be annoying. So what do we got? 8 minutes left. Wow. Maybe I can just set this mug on the microphone stand. There, now I don't have to hold it. Beautiful. You could take Space Marines and Knights in the same list too, so you have an excuse to get one at some point. Oh yeah. That's true. You know, I'm just kind of going with the flow on all of it at this point. I like to dabble. I'm also like, I have so many hobbies. I don't know that I'll ever have like a whole 2,000 point army of one faction or whatever. I like to get a couple that look cool and put them together and paint them and show them off. It's fun. I always wanted the Forge World one that had like a piston spear thing that was incredible. Don't remember what it was called. Huh. That could be cool. So when's this thing starting? 11. So 7 minutes. Allegedly. Supposedly. So yeah. Dang, someone's got like Necron emojis in the chat over there. That's pretty cool. I have no idea what to expect, but hopefully whatever it is, it's good. Yeah, I'm kind of the same. I'm not yet plugged into what's new in the world of Warhammer. This is my first taste of, like, you know, contemporary Warhammer stuff. Night Lancer. Sounds cool. Six minutes. And if I fall asleep in the middle of the stream, I apologize. Like, I'm super comfortable and relaxed right now, so if I just start nodding off like that, I think just even pretending just now, pretending I was falling asleep, I was in danger of falling asleep, so it's real. Could happen. "6:30 wake-up calls, man. They can get ya." Go ahead and maximize this guy. You are maximized. Sorry, I was just looking at stuff. It's nearly 4 p.m. over here, and I'm already looking forward to sleep. Yeah. I was at 4 p.m. too. Sleep is good. I'm looking forward to it. I was just thinking about, man, I can't wait to get in my bed. It's so cozy, warm, because I have an electric blanket. It'll be good. There better be good stuff at this show. That's all I'm saying. For Sleepy Tasty. Yeah. Look who it is. The cable chief himself. This calls for celebration. What's up? All right, let's get funky with it. Jonathan C. Also, man, that's not very loud. Going to Japan in July this year. We'll need some recommendations for everyone of key things to see and do. Hey, I'm going to be in Japan in July this year. That's pretty cool. Where are you going? Tokyo, I assume? We're going to be mostly up north, but we are going to spend some time. I'm going to spend at least a few days in Tokyo sightseeing with the kiddos, so that'll be fun. But yeah, I have tons of recommendations. I'm gonna cut the music since this is Starting soon. Go. Whoa. Hold up. Go full. What are you doing? What are you doing? John, so you talk about coincidence, planning on a few places. Tokyo, Hiroshima, Nagoya, Kyoto, Osaka, Okinawa. Dang, that is a few places. you're just hitting all the spots. I've been to Tokyo, Kyoto, Osaka, and Okinawa. So, and Okinawa was the first place I ever went, and I was just lost for a week, but it was a fun lost. Noting it's going to be stinking hot. Yes, it's going to be gross. Bring some powders. That's all I'm saying. This thing is actually really itchy. I'm going to take it off. I had my little joke. So is this thing going to start or... Aim to get to Tokyo on 28th June and stay there for 6-7 days. We're spending a few nights in other region cities. That's cool. All right, I better pay attention. There we go. All right. Get a banana mug. If we happen to be in the same place, same time, let's catch up. Yeah, absolutely. At this point, my schedule's pretty flexible. But you know, if I have to, I can always just take a train down to Tokyo and we can go out for some drinks. That'd be cool. The first JLG meetup. We're going with my wife and 2 of our friends. Oh, neat. That'd be awesome. Yeah, we'll be hanging with my wife's family for the most part and doing some sightseeing up north, but the kids want to see they want to go to the Pokemon centers and going to go to Tokyo Disney at some point. So, it'll be fun. Let me see something. Has this started yet? Has not. They're as late as a data slate. Oh. Boy, that number is climbing. Look at this thing. That's crazy. Oh, wait. Are they... So... What am I looking at here? It says offline. I feel like they're all watching it and I'm not. Live now? Okay, what the heck? Audio is good? Am I missing something, guys? I never use Twitch, so I don't really get what I'm looking at here. Refresh? Yeah, let's try that. Good call with the refresh. That works. Ah, sweet. They've got the new Warhammer electric shaver. Been waiting for this. A shave as close as the Emperor himself.
previews is that we do get to kind of have a moment and kind of share some cool Warhammer stuff with all the Warhammer community around the whole world, and it's great to kind of come together and just get excited about new Warhammer stuff that's on its way. The other thing, of course, guys, is to let us know in the chat if there's anything you're particularly hoping that you see, anything you're looking forward to seeing particularly that gets previewed. Obviously, we've all got our own favourite game systems, favourite armies, favourite factions. We're always kind of fingers crossed that those are going to be the things to reveal. And hopefully, some of you guys tuning in will get... Well, you have your moment, right? You'll have your time. Some armies that have been waiting patiently.
It's Eddie and Lewis.
And some new reveals will get their time today.
Yeah. So what have we got? We've got... The chat's crazy.
Space
Wolves.
Moving too fast to read almost.
Moving too fast.
Before we get stuck in as well, I just want to say thanks to Raf, who's running the tech today. So if it all
I think this is a yearly thing.
Which it will.
Which it will, obviously.
I'm still learning, so I'm not sure.
A big thanks to Notley, our moderator, who's keeping you guys sane in the comments there as well.
Yeah,
so
absolutely.
Big thanks to those guys. Right, shall we kick off with some previews?
Let's jump into it.
Let's jump in. Oh, here we go. Oh, speaking of Drukhari. Oh, nice. Right out the gate. Embrace your nightmare.
A new Kill Team box there. The second for the new season of Kill Team. It's bad v bad as well. It's the Drukhari Shadow Demons take on the Night Lords Terror Troops. Eddie, let's start with the murderous Night Lords. What do we know about these sinister operatives?
Yeah, so this is Kill Team Nightmare. So we knew it was on its way.
Yeah.
We knew there was a new box of Kill Team coming. We had announced the name before, and we had.
If Henry Cavill comes
Night
out,
Lords, so
I'm gonna
not going to dwell on the Night Lords for too long because we have
freak
seen
out.
these guys before, but they're such cool models. It's worth kind of showing again. This is half of your Kill Team set. Night Lords Nemesis Claw Kill Team, and as you can see,
That's
it's a really
pretty
lovely
cool
bunch of Chaos Space
box
Marine
set.
miniatures. And the key thing really here is that this is a brand new expansion kit for your Chaos Space Marine squad. Added on top.
Is the audio
of
okay? Can you hear them?
Already very
All
cool
right.
Chaos Space Marine miniatures, and lots of very Night Lordy touches there. So you've got like some
Those
Batwing
mandrakes are
helmets, you've got
glorious.
some lightning claws. There's lots of very macabre gothic details on them. You've even got a kind of half a loyalist space marine on a stick, which is pretty cool as well. But we have seen these before, so we're not going to dwell on them for too long. So we're moving on to
those are
new
so
thing
cool looking.
We're announcing today, which is Mandrakes, Drukhari Mandrakes for Kill Team. Obviously, both of these units as well also available in Warhammer 40,000. So Mandrakes are a unit that's been with the Drukhari, with the Dark Eldar, pretty much since their inception, but in various different forms. And this is the first time that this unit's been available in plastic. So you can see already
That
these are really
one in the top
cool,
left looks like
dynamic, very
Sadako from
detailed,
The Ring.
Miniatures, a perfect choice for a kill team because these are absolutely kind of shadow
With a
operatives
sword.
that hang out in the night and kind of pounce on opponents from the shadows, that sort of thing. A few things to kind of note about this kit. So you'll be familiar with the concept of Mandrakes if you're a Drukhari fan already, but there's some new things in the mix here as well. So rather than being a default unit where every model is effectively the same, there's a little bit of variety mixed into this kit as well. So you've got some leader units in there in the form of the Night Fiend. You've got a model called a Shadow Weaver, who's that one that you can see on the far right, kind of throwing a cloak of midnight around himself.
Let's look at the one on the top right, just so you can see it
a couple
without
of
my face in the way.
weapons in there as well. So you can see bottom left there is a big two-handed flaying sword there, which looks pretty
cool.
terrifying.
Nice. I'm just seeing that.
Yeah. So the way that these guys fight is that they are kind of part Drukhari, part Shadow Demon. Their origins are a little bit mysterious, as is the case with a lot of Warhammer 40,000, and they wear cloaks of flayed skin. So I suppose in that regard, they probably fashion choices are kind
Cloaks
of on par
of
with the
flayed
Night Lords.
skin.
Kind of go to the same tailor.
I mean,
same
style.
So
it's kind of just like a leather jacket,
pretty good in
right?
close combat. They've got kind of flaying knives and weapons, very cruel looking weaponry
Seems
there. Kind of
like
a
there's
little bit
nothing
butcher,
different about that.
In the mix,
Except the
and
source.
they've also got the ability to kind of throw shadowy flame around the place as well. So a threat at range and up close. And in Warhammer 40,000, their thing is that they can kind of pop in and out of the shadows and attack wherever they need to on the battlefield.
Scary stuff indeed.
Yeah, very, very cool unit. I think as well one that Drukhari players have been looking forward to for a very long time in plastic. Now expanding that already very lovely Drukhari range into new exciting places. And I think as well like a treat for painters as well. So you look at some of those miniatures and the opportunity to do some very fancy work on some of those kind of tattoos and glowing bits.
Yeah,
some
fantastic.
a kind of ethereal flame on there as well. A lovely different mix of textures across the models as well. So you've got the kind of flayed skin, you've got the dark demonic skin, you've got kind of wispy hair, and you've got flames and butcher knives and all sorts of stuff. So a really lovely kit to paint
Lovely
up
mix,
as well.
yeah, nice mix. And there's some new terrain as well. This is the
Generatorium.
that's the generatorium.
It's a
isn't it?
gothic
of course.
generatorium.
Put this in the middle of your new kill zone. Kind of, you can imagine this kind of popping out the middle of the oil rig, in the
Yeah.
middle of the
That's
kind
pretty
of
cool,
turbulent
though.
seas across the planet, and a kind of nice solid bit of ground for your forces
I mean,
to fight
I want
over.
it.
The new season of Kill Team is obviously set across these raised plates that you can imagine kind of popping out of the turbulent seas.
That
of
dude's
the,
got a half a
water
body
planets
on
of
his
Warhammer
staff.
40,000.
It's crazy.
But the Generatorium
Justin
is
S. Thousand Suns was
flexible
always
enough,
the
actually,
Chaos
that it's a
Army that
large
appealed
piece
to
of
me
terrain that you
most.
could
The
also sit
Egyptian
quite
looking
happily in
dudes,
the
heavy
middle
into
of a Warhammer
psychers and
40,000
demons.
battlefield.
Yeah, they're pretty
And
cool.
it's tall enough as well that
You
you
choke,
can
but I
probably,
went crazy for the
hide a
terrain.
few infantry
It's
units
pretty
behind it
neat.
as well. So it's just a nice, cool, fairly sizable, blocky piece of terrain that you can add to any game, either Kill Team or Warhammer 40,000.
2 levels there as well, I think, because that sort of upper level and then that kind of lower bit as well on it. If we can
Yeah,
we go
there's-
back to the other, yeah, I think that's the.
Yeah, so if you're
Those
playing
kind of
Kill Team
steps up,
especially,
yeah.
there's lots of like little nooks and crannies and stuff,
Yeah.
which is what you want from Kill Team, right? You want to have
Absolutely.
enough places to have some heavy cover and kind of pop out and like fire some pistol shots down there or throw some flame, whatever your ranged weapon is, before you get kind of up close and personal and into the
Up
melee.
close and
combat.
personal.
Nice, lovely stuff.
Yeah, and all of that comes together initially in a big box set, which is Kill Team Nightmare,
Yeah.
and then, as is traditional, both of those units will be made available separately, individually for Warhammer 40,000, and that terrain piece as well. So, yeah, all of that on its way. So whether you're a Kill Team fan or a Warhammer 40,000 fan, there's some good stuff to look forward to in that set.
Oh, very, very nice. So I think without further ado, shall we do the
Yeah, let's have a look at the
next
next thing.
reveal?
Let's go. Show us. Oh, I already like it. Oh, dang, those are cool. Elfie boys. Oh, sick. I would imagine they're probably going to cover all of their big franchises in this preview. I have not looked into Sigmar much. I kind of took a peek at all the different armies that there were, but I don't know much
New
about it.
warbands willing to brave the horrors of
I
the
just got
Nord
into
there
40K,
in
so
this
I'm pacing
Warcry box,
myself.
Pyre and Flood. It's Lumineth versus Nighthaunt. Eddie, tell us a little bit about this.
So this is a new box set for Warcry. As you say, we've got Lumineth and Nighthaunt. This is a continuation of the Warcry season we're in already, which is set in the jungles of Gur, so still very much in the setting that you're familiar with, which means you can quite happily pitch both of these warbands against any of the warbands that
It always
currently
felt more
exist in
intimidating.
Warcry.
That's interesting.
And much like every other Warcry set we've seen so far, as well as adding new skirmish forces to Warcry, they also add new units to armies for Warhammer Age of Sigmar. So if you've got a Nighthaunt force or a Lumineth force, this gives you another unit to kind of add into the mix. So if we start off with the
those are pretty cool.
Eudrillian Riverblades, this
Very
is
dynamic poses.
effectively the aspect of water made manifest for the Lumineth.
Yeah,
So,
they'll probably do some Lord
if
of the
you're familiar
Rings.
with the way that the Lumineth
And then
army
full-blown
works,
40K, and then
generally
full-blown
speaking, the warriors
Sigmar.
or the elite warriors certainly within that army will kind of pay homage or be inspired by the spirits of the realms of
Not
natural
overly keen
forces
on
for
those
the most
models,
part.
but the
So
poses are
we've seen
cool.
mountain already.
Yeah, they
we've
are.
seen
I like-
air,
I
and now
like
we're
their
seeing
weapons.
the forces of the rivers basically kind of come to life, and these are very fast, very hard-hitting. Elite warriors who are able to kind of dance around enemy blows before delivering their kind of precision strikes, and you've got a good mix of different unit types in there, and you can sort of
Yeah,
like, read
I'm not
into them a
crazy
little
about
bit.
that kind of
That you've got
teal,
some kind
light
of
blue
commander
color
unit,
they
you've
have
got some
going
kind of
on.
elite
I would go for
fighters
something
there,
a
and
little
you've
more
got some,
menacing, but-
I suppose new additions to the mix. So your leader there is called a Pure Flood Seneschal. He's the one right in the middle with the very impressive stallion helm and his kind of trident. You have the Stream Runners, which are your kind of the ones with the fully armored faceplates, which are kind of very in tune with the spirit of the water. And then you've got the kind of new additions to
They're
the
very
mix, which are
Eldar,
the
yeah.
Crest Dancers. which are the kind of more lightly armored
Idrillian
warriors who are just
river
learning their
blades.
trade sort of thing. But this unit in
Pretty
Warcry,
cool
you can
name.
imagine being very effective because they're going to be very fast, they're going to hit very hard, and they can dance quite happily across all the various pieces of terrain. And what they're trying to do effectively in Warhammer Age of Sigmar is tend to and nurture the rivers and the wild watery places of the Mortal Realms. And particularly in the Nullwood, they're trying to make sure that the river that's been kind of set off course by the eruption of this huge Gurish jungle is kind of set back on the right path to kind of wash away the forces of chaos.
Sort of
and
Harlequin,
darkness
yeah.
that,
I see it,
inevitably
definitely.
pop
That's
up
what that
on
was
the
my
different
initial
Mortal
thought.
Realms.
Now, stop me if I'm wrong, but I imagine that the Nighthaunt Pyregeists have absolutely no intention of allowing that to happen.
Yeah, so this is
Oh,
very much
dang,
an elemental
those are
force
awesome.
battle because you've got on one hand the forces of water and then
This
a
one looks like
fire on
he's
this
playing
side, and the Pyregeists
the guitar.
have some fun IP basically where Nagash is the Lord of Death and obviously is particularly fond of cruel and unusual punishments for the spirits of anybody who's seen wronged him or otherwise really just generally a bit spiteful.
Yep.
And all of these characters are to some extent warriors or mortals who in life were guardians of sacred places or particularly temples of the dead. So they would have been either priests who would have overseen mortuary rites or guardians of tombs or
Those are really
grave
cool.
robbers or something like that. So that guy right in the middle there, the Deacon of Flames, would have been a mortuary priest, which would have been held in very high regard in the Mortal
Deacon
Realms
of
in life,
Flames?
and
That's a
kind of
pretty
made
cool
sure that
name.
the spirits of the departed were kind of seen happily into whatever Shaishian paradise they thought they were going to go to. Nagash didn't really like that because he wanted to make sure that all the souls went to him. So whenever he got his hands on any of these souls, he'd make sure that they were kind of their punishment was actually not to kind of shepherd fallen souls to paradise, but actually just to make sure that they went to him. The warriors with the halberds there are Bale Guard, so they would previously have been guardians of tomb complexes and looked after the sacred burial grounds of the Mortal Realms. And again, Nagash didn't like that because he wants to have get hold of both the souls and the literal bones and mortal remains of those warriors. So when he managed to get hold of one of those souls, he'd put them to use guarding the Deacon of Flames. Then you've got the Flame Wraiths, which are the ones holding the braziers there. And in life, they would have been they would have been monks who lit the candles of those sacred places in the various tomb complexes.
So basically,
and things.
they were all holy
And
men,
in death,
and then they
now
died,
serve
and they were
Nagash,
like, I
setting
hate
people on
everything
fire,
now.
basically, and ushering those souls to him.
Fantastic.
And I think my favourite are those ones at the top, which are Torch Wraiths, and they are effectively, in life, they would have been grave robbers. And Nagash isn't a fan of that either, because he likes to get hold of all of those bones to build into stuff. That's the kind of the main building material, really, for Nagash, is bones.
Yeah.
So in death, if he gets hold of the soul of a grave robber, he gives him another cruel and unusual punishment to basically be on fire all the time, but also to serve him throwing that fire back at his enemies. So a really interesting mix of units for Warcry. This very much built as a skirmish warband with lots of different
forever.
variety in it, but also able to be used in Warhammer Age of Sigmar as a kind of mixed unit as well. So it's a really fun addition.
Oh,
And,
that's
this comes
cool.
with a little bit of scenery as well. A Slan statue from Talaxis. This is the Idol of the Old Ones, which is a malfunctioning artifact of power.
Yeah. So the whole.
I mean,
of the,
I would like to have that
Gurish
on a
jungle,
40K table.
The
That just looks
Nullwood,
cool.
is effectively strewn with bits of this colossal Seraphon starship that's kind of crashed across it, and you can imagine this thing being like the prow or the figurehead of that temple ship that's kind of crashed through the middle of the jungle and fallen off. And obviously, everything Seraphon is just laced with magic, and it's a really nice mix of kind of fantastical and the arcane. So you've got. Obviously, it's a big, cool statue of
Yeah, it does kind of look like,
possibly
like
Slan,
an
possibly
ancient
old
Space
one.
Marine helmet.
But also, you've got some hints there that there's some tech going on inside it. So there is that kind of little celestial constellation of
Some
dots on the front might be
Aztec.
magical in some way. It's obviously covered in precious jewels and gems and all sorts, which is probably magical in some way, shape, or form.
absolutely.
So anybody who kind of stumbles across this in the Mortal Realms, apart from the fact
17
that it's
people
half
watching?
made of
Wow.
gold,
What's
if you
up,
can drag
everybody?
this back to civilization somehow,
Being
you're probably
quiet.
quite rich. But the Nullwood is probably not keen on relinquishing this.
Hit a like
So,
before you
know,
leave.
If you can get it, good stuff. But
Yeah.
you've got to brave the Pyre and the Flood first.
Nice.
And all of this comes in a big box set called Pyre and Flood, and comes with a new Warband tome, which gives you all the rules you need to play the Lumineth and the Nighthaunt.
Dang, that's
new
pretty cool.
warbands in Warcry.
Lovely stuff. Warcry there. Oh yeah.
There it is
lovely.
altogether. So I
Oh,
think that gives you a sense of
that's-
how big that piece of
that's
terrain is as well. Like
humongous,
it's a
okay.
nice chunky piece of terrain to put onto your battlefield. And if you have been collecting
Very
Warcry
chunky.
terrain since the start of this season, you will probably now have pretty much a whole battlefield full of weird trees and old one relics and all sorts of stuff. So
Warhammer
this is
does
nice
bring
kind
in
of
a crowd.
centerpiece to kind of top that off.
Lovely stuff.
Rightfully so.
So, let's take a look at the next one.
There you go.
Just keep on rolling. There's no fluff in this at all. This isn't like the Game Awards. Hey guys, what did you think of that one? Oh, Groot! Groot. I am Groot. The pack is unleashed. Hunting season is open. Kroot carnivores. Here we go. Krootox Rider. Krootox Rampagers. Kroot Flesh Shaper? War Shaper. Ah! Give it to the Tau. Prepare for ambush. Ah!
Hunting season is well and truly open. Everyone in the chat just going Kroot.
Gimme.
This is the new Kroot for the Tau Empire, along with the new codex as well for the Tau in 10th edition. Eddie, let's start
codex.
with the Kroot. What do we know
I gotta
about
get
these
it.
Masters of DNA?
So the Kroot have been part of the Tau Empire since their inception back in a previous edition of Warhammer 40,000, but they haven't had a huge amount of attention since they came out, with the one very notable exception of the Kill Team that was released for Kill Team.
Very cool.
But we are now seeing a
Yeah, those
massive
Krootox
expansion
riders
for
are
the Kroot.
awesome.
And what we're going to show you today is only some of the new Kroot that are on their way for
Some.
for the Tau Empire as auxiliaries for Warhammer 40,000. So this is, we'll start with the Kroot Carnivore Squad. These are your basic troopers. So this is the a refresh of an existing kit with loads more detail. It's been a very long time since the Kroot Carnivore Squad came out. It was, I think, early 2000s, so almost 20 years waiting for this new unit. And the new kit has got everything you'd hope for in a new kit of Warhammer 40,000. Loads of different options in the mix
but
there,
mods.
to make them very dynamic.
Sorry.
And cool.
You guys have already
You've got
cleaned
things
me
like,
out.
new special weapons that you can see bottom left there. Got some lots of combat options, lots of things to kind of add a bit of variety.
Oh,
and these are
I
very
want more
interchangeable as
Vespid
well
warriors.
With the Kroot Kill Team that came
The
out.
ones that are out aren't.
last
They don't
year.
look great.
So loads
I
of
want
really
more
nice
variety
options to kind of mix
on
into
that
your
end
army.
as well.
And if you've got a Tau army, you can have quite a lot of these units as well. So there's not a huge amount of extra detail, I suppose, on these beyond the normal.
They look easy
warrior
to
themselves,
paint,
which
and
is
I
good 'cause
really
you might
like
want to
that.
have 20, 30, 40 of these guys in a force, which is pretty cool. But this is arguably the least exciting of the new units because there's plenty of other very cool stuff on the way. This is a Kroot Flesh Shaper. One of the things the guys have done with the new Kroot is they've really expanded the concept of Shapers, which previously was almost like a catch-it-all term for all Kroot leaders were called
That is
Shapers.
cool.
And what they've now done is expanded the idea of a Shaper into different roles. So there are now Shapers whose main job
Reminds you of the
is to be,
Predator. Yeah, I could see that.
kind of lead
It's got the weird, like,
evolutionary
alien
development of the
dreadlock
Kroot. There are
things.
those of them that are almost like shamanic. There are those of them that are kind of trackers or hunters or war leaders and things like that. So the Flesh Shaper, his kind of role is to kind of basically decide. who
Jonathan,
Kroot are
the
gonna eat.
games,
They're like, you want to eat that
video
bit, you wanna eat
games
that
really
bit,
run the
and
gamut.
kind of,
Because the
makes
lore is
almost
so
like a butcher
humongous
kind
and
of
galaxy
role to some
spanning.
extent, and that's reflected
It's
in
kind of like on
some
the
of
level of
weapons.
Star Wars
But
as
you can
far
see that
as
this
like
guy's also tooled up to the
the
nines,
infinite
right? Like he's got a
potential for
lot of
stories
different,
to pop up.
weapons, both for
So the
killing
games
and for
kind of
cutting.
cover a lot of
So he's also got
everything,
a bit of
but
a menace in
they
close combat.
also vary in
really
quality quite a
beautiful
bit.
kit though. Like there's a lot of detail on that. So if you're a painter and you're looking for something to
Yeah,
show
that
off your
back
skills, this is cool.
scabbard
And I think worth saying as well,
gun
across the
holster
entire
thing
range,
is
if
wicked
you
cool. It's
have
got a
Tau
lever
army, this gives you
action
a
gun.
really
That is so cool.
interesting and different set of stuff to paint into the army, which otherwise is very kind of like.
I like
near
he's
future
sticking his tongue
sci-fi.
out. Flesh Shaper.
Another shaper.
War
so
shaper.
This is a really, really cool kit.
great.
This is the war shaper, and their role really is the kind of general of the Kroot force.
That
and
is
you can
so
see
cool.
already there with some of the options we've got on display.
Plane shapers
that
were
there
cool,
are a
but never
lot
felt
of
special. And the
different,
Vespid models, I
approaches
think, have
to
been the
this
exact
particular
same for
kit.
like 20
You can
years.
see,
Yeah, we need something new on that front.
Variant heads, variant weapons. You've got bows and staves and
That
close
is cool.
combat
They don't
weapons
look
and all sorts.
40K at all, and that's what I
lovely
really
detail
love
across
about
this
them.
model as well. You can see the
Yeah, I know
cloak
it's
there
off.
with
I'm
that
sorry,
kind
I
of,
was letting you guys look at the model.
reptilian, Kroot
So.
looking flayed skin on the back there. Loads of kind of extra detail on this guy.
Yeah,
as well.
it's
So
intentional, Jonathan.
This is a really lovely model. This is probably one of the more detailed miniatures in the Kroot range.
It's great.
And a really nice to kind of see that kind of character part of the Kroot expander, because we haven't really seen that since
That's awesome. I like the little
first incarnation of the Kroot.
triple
So, great to see.
boomerang blade thing.
Now this is
here we
this is a
go.
brand new unit. So Krootox will be familiar for anyone who's
that's so
played
cool.
Tau
The
Empire
one on the
Army in
right's the
past.
coolest one, man.
But Krootox Rampages gives you a very different way of approaching them. So rather than being lumbering weapons platforms, these are younger, bold kind of shock cavalry version of the Kroot, who charge into the middle of enemy
Assault
armies and kind of send stuff
Krootox.
flying. So
Nice.
this is kind of in the mix with your things like kind of Thunderwolves and Squig cavalry and stuff like that. So they hit very hard.
Man.
And they can
This
kind of
may end
tear
up
enemy
getting me to
infantry
be
and stuff to pieces.
some more plastic
they've got
crap,
a little bit of
maybe.
shooting as well with those javelins and things, but really what these guys are about is just smashing right into the core of the enemy army and making a mess. And what they really do, if you've got a Tau army, is give you a very different style of approach.
put myself
to part of
down
your
here.
force,
How about
because
that?
One of the things that you do struggle with a Tau army is, well, if the enemy get close, what am I going to do to fight them up close? How do I shift enemy units off objectives?
Those things are cool. I gotta
this is
get
one
me
of your
some of
units that can
those.
absolutely do that. You send these guys into the an enemy force on an objective, and they will rip them up, right? So you throw them around.
Giant gorilla
Very,
birds.
very
They kind of
cool
look
dynamic
like
miniatures.
owl
You can see
bears
there,
if
they're
they didn't
kind
have
of
any feathers.
loping across the battlefield,
fur.
charging forward.
You shaved an
a
owl
very
bear, and that's what it
dynamic,
looks
very
like.
fun-looking unit to paint.
Yeah, they look great. They look mean.
They do look mean, yeah. The traditional Krootox hasn't gone away though. If anything, he's bulked up a little bit.
That's cool.
And again, he comes with a bunch of new options. So you can see there, this is a kind of older, gnarlier looking Krootox maybe than the Kroot Rampages. He's got kind of longer quills, lots of variety on this model as well. So you can see alternate head options, alternate gun options as well, which is a new thing. So you've got some kind of blast weapon options, you've
head.
got some heavier, kind of big autocannon-esque sort of options. And this guy,
Man.
role doesn't really change. Fundamentally, what he's for is kind of hanging out towards the back of the battlefield, or with some of the longer range Kroot units.
These new
and
models
and
are
picking
just
off
so
targets at
crazy
range.
detailed
But
and
obviously,
good.
still a Krootox. So if you get into
Like,
close combat with him,
obviously,
he's still gonna
like
rip you
my
in half
paint
unless
is
you're
not going to look nearly
a
that
pretty,
good, but just
decent
like
close combat unit.
Yeah.
the models themselves are so crazy.
So that's about half of the new Kroot stuff that's coming. That's what we're going to show you today. But all of the
half
stuff
of the
we've just
Kroot
shown
stuff
you
coming?
there actually comes in one big launch set, which is the Kroot hunting pack. So you get 2 of those units.
What?
Of,
It's all together?
Kroot infantry, the Kroot carnivores. You get a big unit of Kroot rampages. You get a Krootox, and you get the 2 shaper units that we saw there as well. So you get a very sizable force that you can either
Look what you
bolt
get.
onto the side of a Tau Empire force.
You get
or
all
can use it
this.
as the start of a Kroot force. And one of the things that is in the new Tau Empire Codex, which also comes in that box, is a bunch of new detachments. And one of those detachments effectively allows you to lean almost entirely, or entirely if you want to, into a Kroot force. So if you go, you know what, actually, these new models are so cool, or I've been waiting so long for a Kroot army that I just want Kroot. You know what? I don't want any of the Tau stuff. I just want to have
Just give me Kroot.
a mercenary force of
That
Kroot.
is so
You can actually
cool.
build
So you're
an
just like,
entire
I don't even
Kroot
like the
army
mechs.
very
I just want
happily,
crazy
with
carnivore
one of the
alien
detachments in
predators.
this book, and all
riding
of the kind of stratagems and extra
hairless
rules and
owl
things
bears in the
key
back.
off Kroot units, so you can build them like that.
And it comes with the
Or
codex.
you can
That's-
go,
that
got
seals the
an
deal
exist-
for
I've got
me,
a
'cause
Tau
I
army
need to
that
get
I've
the
collected for a
codex
long
anyway.
time, and what I really need is a couple of auxiliary units to give me some combat.
Sister
lead
A,
to,
the joy of analog board games.
Do
Yeah.
some infiltrating, grab objectives early on, or just to kind of give me
Think
some
DLC's
paint
expensive?
for aesthetic purposes. In which case, you can add in any of those new Kroot units into your Tau army. So
Justin,
I
also I
think
found out that my
pretty
friend
much
still
best
has
of both
all
worlds.
our old
You can
stuff.
have
It
either-
was sort of
you can have
shared
either.
collection, but it was huge. So I'm on cloud 9 right
Some
now.
lovely
That's
stuff
awesome.
for the Kroot.
Oh,
there.
I gotta give
get
claps
through.
for
And like I say, that's only about half of the new stuff that's on its way. And we'll have
Cable
more
Chief,
of
I'm
that
guessing
good stuff to show
220.
you, over the next coming
Dollars or points?
Nice. Shall we check out the next
Let's
reveal?
do it.
Let's do it.
Probably dollars. What now? What now must I spend money on? Arthas from Warcraft? Oh, whoa. Queen of the Harpies. Queen of the Harpies. They don't look like they're bringing the dawn.
Crethusa, the Crone Seer there. An important new Daughters of Cain character for Warhammer Age of Sigmar. Eddie, tell us about this
feathers,
mysterious
those
winged
wings.
prophet.
So this is a really
crazy.
exciting release for a few reasons. So if we go from a lore perspective first,
okay.
The Crone Seer represents a really interesting part
My
of the
wallet
Daughters of
currently
Cain,
is in ICU.
Lore, which is that she isn't under the sway of Morathi. So if you're familiar with the way the Daughters of Cain work, Morathi has effectively subverted the faith of Cain to kind of channel all of the belief into the bloody-handed god into her own power source. But there are a few of the Daughters of Cain
it's very
who are a little
expensive,
bit
Jonathan.
suspicious of Morathi's intentions and don't really believe what she's up to. And Crethusa, the Crone Seer, represents part of that. It's also a very kind of deep lore dive into some very old elven lore.
This is a model for all the
Crone,
fans of feet.
Is a very old elven god, and she's almost representing someone who's kind of stumbled across the power of this very buried elven deity.
There
who's
are
kind of manifesting
other
it.
ways.
She's blind, and that kind of headdress that she's got also kind of.
Some people
I think
go
you
that
were
route.
saying, has
inverted spikes.
has
on
inverted
there, yeah.
spikes into her own eyes, so she can't
Printing
see.
their
She
armies.
can see through the power of her kind of crows that she spreads around. So she's kind of lives in the shadow and kind of sees through these familiars, and the feathers of her wings can also turn into an ethereal flock of crows that can peck out the eyes and attack enemies and things like that. So
She can
she's
peck out
definitely
my
not a good guy.
eyes.
She's on Team Order, but she's a fairly sinister sort of character.
I don't even know what that
representing
means.
a very interesting
but,
kind of new piece of the political dynamic for the Daughters of Cain, particularly. In game terms, she is a powerful priestess who can kind of add a lot of stuff to a Cainite force, and you can certainly build an army into that kind of way
for a
of playing.
Crone
And
Seer,
certainly
I don't
as
think
a
she's going to
model,
have much of a
just
view
really
with her
lovely
hair down.
display
Like
piece,
Yeah,
right?
looks
So
great.
a much more, I suppose, if you've got the Daughters of Cain represent kind of blood and shadow, and Morathi is very much the blood end of the spectrum, and this is very much the kind of shadow end of that spectrum.
Yeah.
And that's represented by the box set that you can get her in the first time, which is Crethusa's Crone Host, and in this set you get.
They're just crushing it
leader,
with the awesome
the
models.
Crone Seer herself, alongside
All
some of the
these
units
are really
she's most
cool.
used to leading, sort of thing. So you can certainly kind of bolt this into an existing Daughters of Cain force.
Honestly, the
or you can
Chaos
kind of
Space
lean into
Marines are the
this
most
new
boring
kind of
one so
shadowy
far,
aspect,
which is pretty funny.
where she's the leader.
Lots of options there as well. Then.
Yeah.
Lovely stuff.
And she's an important player in the Mortal Realms as well. So if we have a look at our next reveal, we'll see why.
Yeah, you can find some good deals on eBay. Honestly, you can get unopened boxes at a pretty good discount from Amazon and eBay. But you can get fully assembled, fully painted stuff that people are just trying to get rid of, and you can get a pretty good deal. Dang, these are pretty cool. Oh, this is the one they teased the other day. Oh, Bloodborne vibes. Yeah, Age of Sigmar definitely has an appeal. I really love the medieval setting because it kind of opens it up to a lot of new things. The great wheel grinds on.
Some new heroes rising in Dawnbringers 5, Shadow of the Crone. Eddie, what do we know about this?
My buddy
So
bought
the
collections
Crone
from
Seer
ex-wives
is,
numerous
the
times.
titular character of Book 5 of
Yeah,
the Dawnbringers
that's
series.
the way to go.
Book 4 is on the way.
Yeah, I get
will
it,
be
Justin.
kind of death-themed, and will be all about the kind of fleshy to courts, and that's on
Your
its way very
pain is
soon.
my
But
gain.
we followed very soon after by Book 5, which is a much more gritty, low-level, I guess, exploration of the Mortal Realms. Mostly set in the city of Hammerhall, where the Crone Seer is aiding a team.
Yeah,
of
I just
Age of Sigmar
recently
heroes
feel like I've
as
wrapped
they
my head around the
root out
lore
some
of
the evil
40K,
beneath,
just
the
from a
Twin
broad
Tailed City.
strokes perspective.
So as well
like,
as the Crone
I
Seer,
get
who is
what all
kind
these
of an important
factions are
character, we get
about
to
and
see
how they
why
relate
she
to
is
each
one of
other.
the big movers and shakers of.
I might start
the
reading
lore
into
in the
Age of Sigmar
We also
at
get
my
to
peril,
meet,
I'm sure.
two characters which we
This
are
whole
you
set
might be
looks
familiar with
wicked
if you
cool.
are viewers of Age of Sigmar animations or you're fans of the Black Library series, which is Callus and Toll, the saviors of Cinderfall.
I like the big old hairless
so these
cat
are
down
agents
there.
of
That's pretty
Azir.
cool. Let me get out of the
They
way for a
are
second.
2 characters who are effectively a little bit like your kind of witch hunter archetype in Age of
These
Sigmar.
guys look
And
like
what they do,
characters from a
in Hammerhall
game
and
that was
beyond
out
is to
many
root
years
out those
ago,
kind of chaos
Torchlight.
cults
Anybody play
and,
Torchlight?
Various
Like the painting
disreputables that
style
might
and
seek
just sort of
to
like the
undermine
proportions of
cities
everybody really
Sigmar.
reminds me
So very
that
much in the
game.
Cities of Sigmar army, but kind of.
Do I read much? Whenever I can.
Of rooting out
I'm,
those chaos cults and things that might pop up under the nose of
when
the
I'm not
city.
playing a
They are
game or
joined
making a video
by
about a game or
a bunch
just
of,
watching TV to not
hangers on.
think.
So you've got
or now making
Valis,
minis.
the keeper.
I
Askian,
do like to read.
who is the
I try to read a
Stormhost,
little bit before I go to
Stormcast there,
bed.
and he is one of the guardians
If I'm not
of
just
Hammerhall.
totally
You can see on his shield there, you've got the symbol
knackered.
of Hammerhall, which I think we first saw in some of the very early Cities of Sigmar stuff. So he looks after Hammerhall in the realm of fire, and kind of goes along when things get really serious, right? When the agents of Azir need a little bit of storm.
I like
help,
the
they
Griffin
can call on
dog.
This guy. You've also got Lisa Ravenia, who is your assassin
Griffin
thief,
dog.
looking character on the top left there, and she obviously brings all the skills that an assassin/thief would bring,
Absolutely.
which is always very useful. You've got an interesting character, Mistress Varentia. She is the character there with the kind of Siamese-looking cat.
Cool cat.
And she is a spy mistress in Hammerhall, and the way that
Spy
she
mistress.
is able to do that is that she has lots of little helpers and friends and critters and creatures that she can see, and you can
Little
see there it's got
birdies.
a collar with that.
So the Primo
glowing
40k
gem there,
books are the
which looks a little
Eisenhorn
bit
trilogy
like some
by
of the
Dan
gems that she's
Abnett. They
got
come highly
on her person.
recommended. I have the
And
omnibus,
she's
but I
probably
haven't
got
dug into it.
various
Oh, that's
fleet
cool.
and flocks of those
Eisenhorn.
little creatures that she can use to spy on various places around the city and beyond. And of course, there's a Griffhound in there as well. So Balthus,
Griffhound.
the Griffhound,
That's
Valis'
perfect.
loyal assistant ward. So not one but 2 little pets in there to go with
Oh,
Callus
that's
and
good.
Toll. And this is really exciting because Callus and Toll are 2 kind of really fun, interesting characters that, especially if you've been following the Black Library books and animations, you might be familiar with. But they definitely give you a kind of mortal eye view of the mortal realms and kind of someone to explore the kind of cities of Hammerhall particularly.
They're said to
and in
be
this
just amazing novels,
Dawnbringers book
period,
5,
not just in
we'll kind of see
40k,
them
but at
in
the same
action
time,
and
the
what they
best
get up
40k
to.
novels. That's good. I've been
Across
looking
the
for a good
board,
place
every
to
single one of
start
these is
with
a
the
really
books.
lovely miniature
I'd
as
like
well.
to read
So
about the Horus
kind of
Heresy, but
nodding a
it's
little
like
bit to the
50
the
books
style
long,
we saw
and I
in
don't
things
really
like
have,
Curse City. So if
you
you
know, 10
started a
years
kind of
to get through
collection
all.
of Age of Sigmar characters and just lovely
You know,
fantasy
I'm always
miniatures,
looking
right,
for
that
something
kind
to
of
read
exist in
because
the
every
mortal
year
realms. These
I
are
take
great
a lot of
additions to it.
business trips in May. And so I'm flying a lot. And
There
in
is a new
hotels a
novel
lot.
on the way
so
as well.
I need
So
something to do. That's
they
mobile.
already featured in a couple of novels already, and there's more. On
Callus
the way
and Toll.
in,
That sounds like
Callus and Toll, where we get to see them
a
in Hammerhall
fancy
getting up to what they
men's
do best,
suit store
uncovering
in
chaos
London.
cults and general swashbuckling.
Where'd you get your
Lovely
suit?
stuff.
Oh, Callus and Toll.
Should we see the next reveal?
Yeah, let's do it.
Let's do it. I love it. They just jump right in. It's just pure content. Pure goodness. Now, I am interested in Warhammer Underworlds because it sort of mixes the miniatures and like a card game as well. Haberdashery, yes. I almost said haberdashery, but I wasn't 100% sure that I was going to use that word right. So I abstained. Yeah, I really like this idea because you've got a board, you've got minis, and you've got cards. And so it's kind of like a mix of a lot of different play styles, it seems. It looks very interesting. It's like if you mixed Warhammer with Magic the Gathering, I think. Haberdashery makes
Zandara's
hats.
Gravebreakers bringing some love to the Death Gorge.
Some kind of
there.
clothes?
This is a new death warband for
Dang.
Warhammer Underworlds. Eddie, what do we know about
Zandara's
So
Gravebreakers.
this is a really fun premise for a warband because effectively, at its heart, it doesn't look like it. Bear with me. This is a love story, right? So Zandara is
Bear with
the necromancer wizard character that you can see in the center there, and her love has been cursed. In the realm of beasts, there's loads of curses going around. It's Age of
course,
Sigmar.
yeah.
Every second person is cursed in some way, shape, or
Everyone's
form.
like,
But her love
what
has
the
been
flip?
cursed and turned into
And
a beast.
gosh darn
basically.
it.
So that weird beast wolf.
So it's a mix of my two favorite
monster
collectible
character
hobbies?
there.
I don't
She's
know that. That's just
seeking,
the
in the realm
that's
of
the
beasts, a
vibe
cure
that I
for
get from the little I've
and
seen
she thinks
about
that
it.
a cure can be found somewhere in the vast
It's got cards and minis, so it's very appealing.
Using a mix of necromantic and Gurish magic, she has raised.
See you, Jonathan. Thanks so much for popping in.
Zombies.
Let's definitely get in touch in July and hang out in Tokyo.
Open graves across the realm
See ya, buddy.
to try and find magical cures, amulets, and things to cure her lost love. What that gives you in Underworld's Warband is a really interesting mix of models, and also some very interesting mix of abilities and things for gaming purposes.
That werewolf beast dude
right at the
is
heart of
like
Warband,
stretching
you
his leg
have
up
a
so high. It's so
necromancer
funny.
slash
It's like he's marking
Gurish
his
wizard,
territory.
and then you've also got a powerful monster character.
I want to hang in Tokyo.
Backed up with some zombies, which
I wish we all could. That'd be awesome.
They're not going to
Just have a
win
giant
any
group meet.
awards themselves, but they give you a bit of extra muscle to kind of grab objectives and things.
Do I or did I play
Absolutely.
Magic? I used to have a whole
And
bunch
you
of
can
Magic
also kind of
cards,
bolster them with
like
Gurish magic as well. So they're
first
a little
edition
bit tougher.
stuff
They hit a bit
that I
harder
got
maybe
when I
than
was in
your
4th grade.
basic death zombie,
And then I
because
gave
these
them
are
all to
also
my
powered with a little bit of
cousin
Gurish,
and her husband because they were
zeal
super
as well.
into it.
So a bit of magic, a bit of combat, a very flexible warband, a very kind of fun mechanics that kind of overlap between them as well, and some fun miniatures that you can paint up in some interesting ways. So and showcasing as well, I think one of the things about Underworlds, which is most of the big factions now.
I did not have a Lotus.
You've got your kind of humans and your Seraphon and your Chaos.
You're the second
and
person
now getting to explore some of the kind
of
weird,
two
wonderful
to
corners
mention
of the
that.
realms with some
Who
kind
I've
of
told
left-field
recently that I
warbands
used to have some
maybe you
first
didn't
edition
expect to
Magic
see.
cards.
That can add some
Did
exciting
not have a
mechanics to
Lotus.
the game.
Wanted
So,
one.
it's
Did not have
exciting
one.
across the board, really.
Yeah, really good stuff. Lovely.
Yeah.
Do
Lovely.
the next one?
Let's do it.
Let's do it.
Let's do it. No banter. Astra Militarum. Ooh. Dracosan. A heavy sentinel. Then add reinforcements. Dang. Oh, it's Horus Heresy stuff. That's why everybody looks different.
Humanity's finest mortal troops, the Solar Auxilia, and some all-new plastic kits. A big release for this as well, Eddie.
This is an absolutely enormous
It's
release
massive.
of plastic kits for the Horus Heresy. This is the largest release of plastic kits we've seen since the launch of the new edition of the Horus Heresy.
I mean, the dual lands were
with all the
pretty
Space
penny
Marine stuff,
too.
And
I don't think I had
almost
that
the
either.
entirety of
I was
the
in
Solar
4th
Auxilia,
grade, so I couldn't
range
afford
that you could
a
possibly
terrible
want
amount of
is
cards,
released
but
almost
I had-
immediately as a huge
I had a pretty
wave
decent
of
stack.
plastics. And it's very cool. You can have a look at some of those on screen right now. And let's dive into some of these miniatures because they are phenomenally cool, very
Those are
detailed,
handsome.
and far easier to put together as a force and collect as an army than they were previously when they were available in resin. The team have done a great job of updating some already very cool resin
Last Olympian, I
designs
like
into
Yu-Gi-Oh!
plastic,
Yeah, I
and
could
in the
tell.
mix, they've added in loads
You
of
are
options and
Yu-Gi-Oh!
customizability and different
In
ways
my
to put these
eyes,
together.
when I
if we
see
kick
Last
off with
Olympian, I
the
think of
Las Rifle
Yu-Gi-Oh!
section, these are your basic troopers for the Solar Auxilia. And the Solar Auxilia have an interesting place in the Horus Heresy because against the Space Marine, they are relatively outmatched, but the Space Marines alone are not able to kind of conquer the entire galaxy. So when the Emperor set out on his Great Crusade, he identified the fact that even though you've got hundreds of thousands of Space Marines, the galaxy is a very big place. So you need some Auxilia to go with them, you need some backup. So Solar Auxilia literally is Auxilia from the solar system. That's where the name comes from. So they were attached on to the Space Marine forces to give them extra manpower. But as the Crusade evolved, the Solar Auxilia sort of became a byproduct for a byword for elite mortal troops. So other than the Space Marines, they are seen as the most competent troops
Very cool.
in the armies of mankind. So in the wider Imperial army, the Solar Auxilia are kind of looked upon as these are the best a mortal can get without being elevated to the status of kind of post-human in some way, shape or form, usually Space Marine. They are given the best weapons that the Imperium can muster en masse. So there are millions of these guys out spread across the Great Crusade, and lots of regiments.
Yeah, I
in the
wasn't
wake
sure if there
of
was like a
the
30K,
Great Crusade
40K
that model
overlap.
themselves upon the Solar Auxiliary as well. So every legion.
Don't
backed
expose
up
the
by,
hypocrisy of my name.
Hosts of troops that look like these, as well as there being plenty of expeditionary and Crusade forces that are also backed up with loads of Solar Auxiliary troops. And then when Horus turned against the Emperor, about half of the Solar Auxiliary, just like the Space Marines, fell with him and decided to kind of back his play to be the new Emperor of mankind. So you can play these either as loyalist or as traitor. The las rifle section here represents your basic troopers. They have got las guns and bayonets. The bayonets look particularly ferocious. You can see those on a few of those there. They look like they would
needles.
Make a mess of someone.
Yeah.
They,
Be careful with those.
but up against a Space Marine, you will need a lot of these guys in your force. So if you are looking to build an army of these for the Horus Heresy, and you want to go infantry
Yeah, I don't
heavy,
think one of
you
those
can put an
bayonets is going to do
awful lot
much
of
against
Solar
Space
Auxiliary,
Marine.
las sections into your
But you
army.
know, it's nice to have something.
The rules for these already exist, so you can already find them in some of the books that accompanied the release of the Age of Darkness box set. But the key thing really is that up to this point they were available in resin, which was quite it's a less useful material to work with than plastic. It takes a bit longer to put your army together. It's more expensive. These are going to mean that you can reasonably build entire armies of Solar Auxilia if you want to, which is very cool. Loads of options in there as well. I'm sure you guys are already taking a look. The Sergeant is really cool. He's got power fists and plasma pistols and Volkites, and there's kind of banners and stuff in there as well.
The whole flavor of the Astra Militarum is so great.
Again,
Absolutely
arguably
massive armies
the
that are pretty
least
much all
exciting
just
of all the
meat
kits
shields.
that's on
Yeah,
the
they're
way.
pretty cool.
There's loads of cool upgrades and things for them as well. This is the tactical
They're pretty cool
command
meat
section.
shields. They have the
So you
best
can see in the
tanks,
mix there,
obviously.
You've got Vox,
Like-
you've got kind of company banners.
I like that
and
they
things
look like
that.
just
You've got some power
modern
weapons, plasma pistols.
20th century,
so these are
21st century
relatively
tanks.
well equipped by human standards, right?
Just
So
bigger.
like, and it's just good, right? Because they have to go up. against
Seraph
things
likes
like
the
Space
guys in
Marines.
the
So
armor.
You can
Me
imagine
too.
these guys having to hold the line against things like charging world eaters and stuff like that, and kind of. You're going to lose a few, but through weight of numbers and through grit and steel, they might just see it to the other side of the battle.
Look at this guy on
And there's
the
something
right.
about them that you kind of
Oh,
want
that's
to
pretty
root for
cool.
because they are closer to human certainly than the
They're
the
just
Space
like
Marines
us.
and things they go up against.
Yeah.
There
Oh,
are
yeah, I love the
a lot
walkers
of
that they have.
vehicles
Ooh,
on
that
the
is
way
so
for,
cool.
For these guys. So
Yeah.
this is the Ethon Heavy Sentinel, and you can see there that it comes with loads of weapon options. So you've got a range of different missiles you can put on the side of it. You've also got a range of different main cannons you can put on there as well. Loads of choices.
Very cool.
Multi-lasers, heavy flamers, melter. There's a Volkite in there as well, which is my personal favorite.
Nice.
Basically, anytime you can put Volkite on something,
Put it on.
you're going to choose Volkite. It's just the best.
Yeah.
It's not
Chicken
technically
walkers
very
are
good,
always
it's just my
classic,
favourite,
yeah.
'cause
Yeah,
I like
yeah.
to imagine the noise it makes and the mess.
definitely
it
have
makes,
a Star Wars
the enemy
vibe.
units when they shoot. And this is sort of a forerunner of the Sentinel designs that you see in Warhammer 40,000. It's much more sort of industrial looking. These would have
Bane
been
blades are the
mass-produced
best,
in
of
their
course.
thousands,
They're so cool.
and sent out alongside the.
I remember
Solar
playing,
Auxiliary forces, allowing
Dawn of
some
War
kind
on
of
the PC,
close-range support
And when they
as
had
kind
the
of wade off
DLC
into
that
the
came
Great
out where you could
Crusade.
play as the Imperial
Certainly
Guard,
not a match for
like
something
their
like a
ultimate
Dreadnought,
unit that you
but
could summon
or
was the
again,
Bane blade
much like
tank, and the
troops
thing was
underneath it
just
would
it
be
was
outnumbering
dominate.
things
It was
like
so
Space Marine
cool.
dreadnoughts in a firefight. So they're hoping that your weight of number again is going to win out the fight. Lots of lovely little touches in there that are very reminiscent of some of the later Sentinel designs as well. Nodding to that idea that
Very
lots of the things that
steampunk
you
looking with
see
that
during the
color
Horus
scheme
Heresy
too. It's kind of
are,
cool.
The origin of some of the things that we know and are very familiar with in Warhammer 40,000. There are loads of tanks on the way.
Yes.
Probably the most common amongst them, the Dracosian transport. Unlike the Rhinos of the Space Marines, the Dracosian does a few more things for you. So you could pack a lot of troops into this, and because it also has to kind of function as a mobile fire base, it does add quite a lot to your army. Loads of options in the mix there as well. So the pintle mounted, you can either have heavy flamers, you can have multi-lasers, but the main reason you bring this guy along is that big demolisher cannon on the front, right? So
That's
nice big
pretty
siege-breaking demolisher cannon to
I like the missiles on
even
the
the
side.
odds. If your little troopers need to go up against a big unit of Space Marines, always
Very
helpful.
cool.
If
Justin, so
three or
we ended
four
up
of them
rarely
go
ever
to
taking
bits
our
before
Bane
your,
blade. The smaller Lehman Rust
plucky
tanks
troops
actually
have to
survive
charge
longer
into
and
a
can often
unit
dish
and,
out just as
a
much
Blood
damage
Angel
for
or
the
something.
point cost. That makes sense.
There's a new Lehman Russ.
Bane Blade
on
is
the way.
cooler,
So
though.
this is a Heresy era Lehman Russ, very reminiscent of the Lehman Russes that you see in Warhammer 40,000. There's absolutely nothing stopping you as well if you decide you wanted to kind of port a few of these or use some of the bits into your Warhammer 40,000 force. But the weapons and loadout and the crew has been designed specifically with the idea that this works alongside your Solar Auxilia force, and you've got all of the different weapon options available to you. So the Lehman Russ strike tank comes with the
Wish real
Vanquisher,
tanks had
you've got battle
flamer
cannon,
turrets.
twin autocannon, and twin las cannon, and a variety of different pintle mounted options as well, with things like hunter killer missiles and heavy flamers and stuff. You've also got a pretty brutal looking dozer blade and
that's
your
cool.
kind of forward las cannon on the front there as well. And again, it looks a little bit more maybe industrial, maybe kind of mass produced than some of the later Lehman Russes. And again, this thing would have been rolled out in its thousands as the kind of workhorse tank of the Imperial Army. So whereas in Warhammer 40,000, you certainly see squadrons of these. In the time of the Horus Heresy, you would have had whole battlefields full of these tanks rolling forward. Battles like Talon and things like that, where you would have had entire companies of these in the hundreds rolling across the kind of enormous kind of apocalyptic sized battlefields of the Horus Heresy. We've seen some of that in Legions Imperialis, of course, where you can kind of actually have hundreds of these on the battlefield. But there is something cool about having the bigger tank as well, and still putting a lot of them on the battlefield. And all of that stuff we've just seen
all in one
comes
box.
together in the Solar Auxilia battle group. So this is very much like the kind of army boxes we've
Just
seen for
make it
Age
rain.
of Darkness and
It's
things like that.
monsoon season.
And all comes together. If you want to kind of kick off kickstart a Solar Auxilia battle group, you can pick up this and it gives you
Got a good hobby
starting
shop
point.
near you?
It's
You mentioned
certainly
shopping
not
more this
a full
weekend.
army, because
yeah.
as we were saying, the Solar Auxilia, you can have
Even in my
an awful lot of them, right? So you can
moderately
have
small
hundreds of
town, we
troops
have a
on the
really
battlefield
good
if you want, but certainly
hobby
gives you a
shop
very good starting point.
that sells Warhammer stuff and
much
magic stuff and
like
board games
lots
and all
of other
that.
things in the Horus Heresy,
It's
you
really
can
good. But
ally
I'm
them
actually
with your
going
forces as well.
to
So if you've
like
got a
Hobby Lobby,
Space
Joanne,
Marine force,
Lowe's.
you
I'm
can
getting
quite
like
reasonably
hardware and stuff
decide to
to
kind of
put
bolt a few of
together
these
some
auxiliary
terrain.
to it. But there is something fun about just having lots of more.
I don't have money for
But that's not all.
this,
There is more. There's more.
but I do
from
have
all
money
Solar
for like
Auxilia.
styrofoam and wood planks.
So those of you who are very familiar with the Horus Heresy rules will know that the Lehman Russ has got more options than
Oh,
that
dang.
kit.
I love
We
those, like,
couldn't quite pack every
ridiculously
single
huge,
weapon option onto
stubby
the single frame. So there's
turrets
an
that they have
alternate,
on some of the tanks like that
version as
one.
well, which is the assault tank. And this one, generally speaking, is the kind of short range but more brutal version of the Lehman Russ. And the main difference really is the main battle cannon and some of the different options you get for the pintle mount. So Demolisher, which is your kind of classic close-range siege weapon. You've got a big plasma cannon, and you've got a Volkite cannon in there as well, which is obviously what I'm going to go with. It's going to be the Volkite, right?
Right?
So this is a devastating short-range weapon version of the Lehman Russ, and interchangeable as well with the other one too, so you can kind of mix the kits together if you wanted to. The Velataris Storm section is a really fun addition as well. These are the elite, kind of more heavily armored version of the Solar Auxilia.
They look really cool.
The unit composition you can see on the screen there is fully kitted out with Volkite. So this is your kind of deflagrating anti-infantry version. So an awful lot of firepower coming out of that squad. So you can imagine squads of 10 and 20 of these
think there's
piling
one
out of
behind me.
Dracosians and kind of unleashing a huge amount of
Oh, yeah?
firepower into things. And you do need a lot of firepower to take down the things they have to go up against. So you probably want a few of these in the mix. Worth noting about this unit, you can also kit them out with axes, which gives you a little bit of close combat
Axes,
punch
I love
into
it.
the mix as well. There is something endearing, I suppose, about a human that has been given like a big heavy suit of armor, and then they're looking across the battlefield at these 7 or 8 foot tall superhuman warriors they need to go up against, and then their commander hands them an axe and goes, "Can I have a gun?" He's like, "No, you get an axe.
Take this.
Have a great time." It's quite a good axe.
Good
you know,
luck.
it's powered and all the rest of it. You can chop through stuff. But you've got to respect that, I think, in a
Absolutely.
trooper if they're willing to go.
Oh yeah,
with
the
a
plasma
pretty
weapons do come with their
unwieldy,
own
a
caveats,
sturdy,
but
powered axe.
they sure are
It's
cool.
pretty good. But again, a really lovely, flexible kit. Lots of interchangeability between some of these kits as well. So things like arms and heads and back banners and stuff like that, you can swap and change between them, much like you can with the Legion kit for the Space Marines, where you can kind of swap and change between lots of those armor marks and things. And then last up, one of the bigger hitters for the Solar Auxilia, the Malkador Heavy Tank. So this is a kind of one-up on your Lehman Russ with even more firepower. You've got loads of options on this for different things, but this is designed to go toe-to-toe with things like the Spartan tanks and Land Raiders and the kind of slightly larger tanks. And again, you can have quite a lot of these in your force, and you can kit it out to do basically whatever your army isn't very good at. You can go, I need more anti-infantry, I need more anti-tank, I need more things that can take down monsters. Whatever is missing in your force, you can add into this with a huge variety of different weaponry. So you've got battle cannons and las cannons and demolisher cannons and heavy flamers.
That's
and
wicked
different
cool.
sponson options for either close range anti-infantry or longer range anti-tank support. Whatever you need, basically, the Malkador can kind of fill that gap in your army. And again, you can quite happily fit 2 or 3 of these into your force if you wanted to go kind of tank heavy and go.
Yeah, the
be
turret
in that
housing
direction.
is really
so
cool.
Loads of really cool stuff on the way, and all of that stuff is on its way very soon. And it looks phenomenal as well.
It's
a really cool army.
Looks fantastic. Oh, lovely stuff.
There we go.
Some amazing releases there. Any highlights for you, Eddie?
I'm excited about Callus and Toll, I think, actually.
Yeah,
I
that does
like
look
those
great.
two. I'm looking forward
Yeah.
to painting up some new stuff. But I think there's some really good
Groot,
stuff for
Groot.
all the games.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to the Groot as well. I think.
That's awesome.
they look great.
I have to get the Groot box because it comes with the codex too.
Looking
So
forward to seeing what people do with entire armies of Groot.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have a
That's
Groot
tough. Yeah,
army,
there's loads more on the way.
jungly
I mean, it's all
bungly.
good, right? The
You're
Solar
gonna get
Auxilia
up
box
all
is
in
gonna
your
be
craw
as well.
from the
The
bayou.
thing about that I'm quite excited about is that up until this point, the rules have been available, but most Horus Heresy games have been Space Marine versus Space Marine. But this adds like a whole extra dimension. So all
like
of a
his
sudden, even
t-shirt.
if you're a Space Marine player, you go,
It's pretty
okay,
cool.
so what happens if I know I'm going to go up against loads of Solar Auxilia? I'm going to have some anti-infantry stuff. So all of a sudden, your decision of like which weapons and things are the most efficient, you might not necessarily lean plasma to kill power armor. You might go, oh, I do want some Volkite, I do want some heavy flamers, that sort of thing. So it adds a lot of extra things into the mix and consideration for building armies. So exciting time for the Horus Heresy.
Exciting times, very exciting times. Well, that's all we've got time for, folks. Speaking of which, hope you enjoyed getting a bit of a peek at all of those fantastic releases, as always.
I
Huge,
did.
Great big thank you to Notley.
I did enjoy it.
For us. Huge big thank you to our producer Raf for getting up at the crack of dawn with us and pushing the buttons, making it all happen. And thank you to you, Eddie, for
Pleasure, as
taking us through all
always.
those awesome
It's almost the crack of dawn
releases.
for me.
As always, you can catch up on all the releases that you've seen this morning, today, tonight, wherever.
Justin,
you might be,
what are you doing,
on the
man?
Warhammer
Thank you so
community
much
website. And
for the gift
we will
subs.
see you on the next one. Take care.
Take care, Eddie and Lewis. Thank you very much. Well, there we go. All right, Upil Luppy, Adrian Gonzalez, Matthew Manny, Zelda Knowledge, and Jose Leon. Good to see you guys again. Lurking in the shadows. You've been unmasked. So yeah, that's thank you, Justin, so much. That's for the Groot Fund. Thanks for the late stream. You're welcome, man. You are very welcome for the Groot Fund. Now I have I've got so many games I'm on the hook for buying. Now I got to get some Groot. I can't wait. That was really cool. Awesome, awesome, awesome stuff. Well, thank you guys so much for popping in. Speaking of sponsors, thank you very much to Jack Moore, Turbic88, The Last Olympian, and Brett Williams for being sponsors of James Loves Games. Thank you to all the members as well for tuning in. If you're interested in what all of that is, feel free to check the link below. Hit a like on your way out to give us a little visibility. And yeah, I appreciate it very, very much. I had fun. It was nice. I was so happy to get some Tau love, get some Groot. Those Groot models were sick. And then a whole bunch of other stuff that was also very cool. So, Justin, got to post some pics of your kill team in Discord when you can. Yes, I'll set those up sometime this weekend and post those. My Krieg veterans. Anyway, I'm sleepy. So fun times indeed, Sister A. Thank you guys again for popping in and being up so late. I'm too old for this, and I'll see you next time right here on. And next time being Sunday, so watch out Sunday. We're gonna play some more Zelda, probably. You guys have a great weekend. Stay warm and stay cool.